I'm Ella Watkins, a student at Aylesford Pottery in Kent. This is an example of one of the recent pots that I decorated on the RAKU day. We had a whole day of decorating and learning the art of RAKU. So what can students expect from the RAKU day? First of all, have a lot of fun. The word RAKU in Japanese actually means enjoyment and fun, and certainly that's the biggest thing I took away from the day. Actually, had a lot of fun, enjoyed decorating the pots, seeing the process all in one day. So you start off with a biscuit fired pot and you take a fired pot home with you that day, which is just amazing, because normally with pottery obviously it's a quite a long process and you've got to have it glazed and sent away. So it was really good fun to do that and see the whole process being done and actually decorating it, trying out the different glazes and the different ways of decorating it, maybe putting strips on it or dots on it, and seeing the reverse of where you might end up with black carbon finish in the background. So it was just a bit of fun really. So this is a different one of the other pots that I made from the day, and this has been glazed with a copper glaze with a blue rim. And the black carbon is where I didn't put anything on it, so it's black carbon from the fire, and the wiggly lines are where I actually put strips of sticky strips that Alan gave us to stick on it and decorate it with. The copper glaze has actually turned a greeny colour, which it does over time. When you first get it out of the kiln, if it's one of the first ones in, it has a really rich coppery colour, but that does tend to fade to this lovely greeny colour afterwards. Alan, who is a master potter here at Aylesford Pottery, was in charge for the day and led us through the whole process. He provided these beautiful little vases that we had to decorate. They were already biscuit fired. So RAKU clay is a different clay because it's very heavily grogged clay, and he'd already pre-made the pieces and biscuit fired them for us. You can bring your own pieces, but you do need to use RAKU clay in advance to make them with. The risk you take is that if you brought something else made of a different clay, it could just explode and crack and not survive for the whole process. So the kiln is heated to 1,000 degrees. And then with protective clothing, Alan takes them out of the kiln. Obviously they're extremely hot, and puts them into a metal dustbin where their sawdust goes on. The sawdust ignites and gets a flame on it, and then you put a lid over it which reduces the oxygen, and that's what makes it the black carbon of the pot. These black parts is where the carbon is. So it's a very quick process in that sense, and it's a transition from being very, very hot, and it cools very quickly. We actually, with the white crackle glaze, as it comes out of the kiln, and you can sort of get the air on it and you can hear it cracking. If you sort of can blow on it and you can actually hear it cracking, and then it goes into the sawdust and you put the lid on it, and it finishes the process. Once that's cooled down and that's finished, you take it out of there with tongs because it's still very hot, and it goes into a bucket. And it's at that point, after that, they cool down, and you can, even then they look very different because they're all covered in ash. And then you take them out of the bucket and you scrub all the ash off, and you get a lovely pot.